Hello. Do you hear the sounds of the Australian birds
Yeah,
in the
always.
background? There's like
Like,
a whole flock of galahs just like flying overhead as we're recording.
a
It's just
galah.
this is very Australian. You get the dulcet tones of Australian parrots in the background as we record.
I love
I
it.
am excited for today's episode because this is a powerful tool that I feel like people don't talk about enough.
Yep.
And I'm excited to dive into it. But first, we've got no new patrons this week.
Not this.
Um, and we love and appreciate all of our current patrons. And yeah, you can go check that out on our patreon.com/sustainable socials if you want to get amongst it. But yes, this is something we're talking about asking today.
Yes, the big ass.
Uh, and what I call the authentic ask, which
Yes.
is different than selling to people. And
Yes.
I feel like I need to make that abundantly clear. No
Yeah.
smarmy sales tactics. This is like the authentic ask. Ask and you shall receive. And I have so many people that I talk to personally and our clients as well who will say their goals, things that they want to achieve, what they're hoping to do with a video on TikTok or an Instagram post or whatever it may be. And I'll say, why don't you just ask them? And they look at me like I have two heads. Like, you're not allowed
What?
to do that. Like, social media has to be all trickery, and you have to be, like coming up with clever ways of doing things. And I'm like,
Just
for
ask.
real, just authentically ask
Yeah.
them. That is sometimes the most powerful thing. And people love it for several reasons. One, it cuts through the bullshit. You're
Yes.
not trying to you're really just saying what you're asking them for, which they love. The second is that you're giving them an opportunity to help you,
Yes. And
and
people
be
want to help.
appreciated by you.
Yeah.
And you're also offering them something that they're looking for. So for me, quite often it's, um, like I wrote this book, and if you really love, fantasy romance, I would really appreciate it if you went and pre-ordered it. Or
Yeah.
I have a pre-order goal of this many, and I only need 10 more people to get to it. And if you like this genre, if you like this kind of book, I would really appreciate you going and getting it, you
Yeah.
know?
People do
They,
that with followers. They do it with newsletters. Like, just go
Mhm.
on there if you find a really great way, or not even if you find the great way to ask authentically. Don't
Mhm.
make it where it's all like smoke and mirrors salesy. Like,
Yeah.
like you were saying, like, I'm at 6,590 followers. I need 10 more to get to 6,600. Can you
Yes.
tag some of your friends for me, please?
Yes, exactly. Or I've done ones where I was at I think I was at 19,900 followers, and I'm like, I am looking for 100 people who buy thirst traps and fantasy romance
Yeah,
to follow me. If that is you,
come
there's
along.
no reason for wanting this, but I do, and I would love for you to come join me.
Exactly. Exactly. People
And
like
it's
that. It's like,
so
all right.
real because it's not just do this for me. It's not demanding, it's asking. You're not telling them to do anything. You're saying, this is who I am, this is what I offer. If you like that, I would love for you to join me here. And that's the authenticity part. You're not saying I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall and just hoping to get whoever. I'm saying, if you like this very specific thing that I do, I would really, really love for you to follow me, or really love for you to go buy my book.
Yeah.
Um,
And the worst they
so
can
powerful.
do is not do it, and you won't know. And that's
Exactly.
fine, because that's fine. They're not your people. It's like, just
But
do the
I
act.
feel so compelled to do things all the time when I see people asking like that, especially if it's the
Same.
sort of thing I'm into. And I'm always sharing it with other people and tagging friends that I know also like that thing, because I'm like, yeah, of course, I love this genre, or I love doing this
Yeah.
thing. I will absolutely help you. Or someone saying they need to get to 1,000 followers because they really want to go live to celebrate their new book release or something.
Yes.
There's something so real and genuine about that desire that we can all relate to, and we want to help those people, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Like, and if you don't, you just keep scrolling, like you don't care that somebody's asked that of you. And in fact, you probably won't even get pushed that video out to you if it's not your sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's like I love looking at my BookTok community that I've cultivated as my village. And so it's like, if I really need something, I know I can go to that village. And that village gave me an epic ARC team. That village has
Mhm.
helped me with my book releases. That village has given me so much that I constantly thank them because they're in my community, like they're my neighbors. They're the person that I've got over the fence that I need to borrow a cup of sugar from, like whatever it is, like they're the people that you can ask. How would you go ask your friend? How would you ask your neighbor? You just ask somebody. And again, the
Yeah.
worst they can do is say no or just not do it. And you'll never know because you're just asking on social media and it's fine.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
as Allie will tell you, it is going to always, you're not always, but I would say 99.9% of the time, you are going to get the most positive feedback and the best results because you have showed up authentically stating your case and asking for help.
Yes. Yeah. And that's 100% the thing too, is you're saying, this is what I can give to you. I'm giving you something, and I would really appreciate you doing this thing for me, So it's like, that's that authenticity too. Is like, I think sometimes you have people who create content that is very like, do this for me, do that for me, go do this, go do that. And people don't like that, and they don't like being
I feel
spoken of that way. But if you're saying like, I would appreciate your help, or like, it would mean a lot to me if you did this, like, people are like, they know that that is they don't have to, but
yeah.
if they want to, you're inviting them to. And I think that that's the difference. So having that kind of sense of energy around those things, I think is really
Mm,
good. If you come at it from a place that is either like aggressive, like you have to do this, or whiny, like I don't have too many thousand followers yet, like that kind of energy. And I feel like I deserve it, like I swear I see people make content like that.
unfollow.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, the
Bye
followers are
bye.
going down because like nobody wants to be like wine debt, and nobody owes
No.
you anything. You're inviting the people who want to help you in, but you're also like everybody, making sure everybody knows they absolutely don't have to. And that's like
Yeah.
a totally different energy. So don't be aggressive, don't be whiny.
Yeah.
Just be real in your ask.
Yep.
But the power of asking, I think, is much stronger and simpler than people make it out to be. So don't be like, give it a go. I'd really love to hear some people sharing examples of this, because we've had a few clients do this and seen incredible results.
Yeah.
Go out there and try an authentic ask and let us know how it goes. Now, if
Yeah.
every single one of your videos is like that, problem. Like, don't do that.
One
But
ask every
when
now
you
and then.
genuinely really like are hoping to hit a pre-order goal, hit a sales goal, hit a follower goal, whatever it may be, like, give it a go and see how
Yeah.
it goes, because you'll be surprised how much people actually just want to like show up and support you.
Yeah. No, that is such great advice. And it's something that I know I need to take on as well. Cause I always say, oh, I'm going to do one of those. But then I go to do it and I'm like, no, not today. I'm going to do this
Yeah.
other post instead. But it is one that I think I need to add into my strategy before the next time we come back so I can report back like how it did. So,
Yes, I want to hear how you go with this too. I think a lot of this, when I say, why don't you ask them? And people are, or they're like, well, should I do this or that? And I'm like, why don't you ask TikTok what they
just
think?
ask.
People kind of look at me with these kind of wild eyes of like, what? And I think it's because they forget that there's actual people watching their content. I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes people treat it as kind of like a shouting into the ether, sort of like energy, like they're, yelling into
Mm,
the void. And they forget that there's actual people who are really there, who really want to engage with people. And you're kind of like doing your relationship with them a disservice by not treating them like they're actual people who actually want to engage with you.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes asking the question to get them, because I tell you, I have been in some groups and I am in charge of some groups that are quiet, dead quiet, ridiculously quiet, that I'll get to a point and we're posting and we're showing up and go, okay, now there's no engage. Let's just ask a question. As soon as you ask a question, it gets people talking. It gives them a reason to engage back. And it's just amazing, like how when you ask them, like, can you tell me this? And usually it's like a poll. What do you want to see? Give us your opinion. Do you like this flavor? Do you like that one? Whatever that is, like asking that question to getting them involved to help you get what you need. You know, I do it too, like with the name of my last series, Lake Lorelei. I didn't know what to name the lake. I asked him, I'm like, I'm writing this book. I need to name the lake. Send me your names like that you would want to name a lake. And
That's a
that was
great
how Lake
question.
Lorelei him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like so much fun. It was fun. I got to know so many people by doing that. I've asked certain things for each book, and it's really gotten me to chat with readers more. And I need to set some of those up for
I
this
feel like
next series.
there's a really important point to this too, is that you actually really wanted their answers. You needed
Yeah.
their help with it, and you
Yeah.
actually wanted to know. I see people sometimes just being like, what's your favorite color? You know, like trying to ask a question. And it's like, okay, like, sure,
Specific.
that's
I
fine.
want
But
specific.
like what the difference and why I call it the authentic ask is because you're authentically asking. You really want to know the answer. And or maybe you're really asking them to help you in some way. And that is different. It's a
Yeah.
different thing than just trying to drum up engagement. So think about that.
But I
Yeah.
think too, authentically is also that difference too, like you're saying too. It's like when you're actually asking because you care and you want to know, because you want the help
Yeah.
too, as opposed to showing up and going, I'm going to ask a question because Anna and Allie said on their podcast, it was good for me to
I
do
want to
this.
sell all the books and they told me to ask you. So
Yeah.
I'm asking you to buy my book.
You've got to show up because your face, your energy, your attitude, the light
Yeah.
in your eyes, everything shifts and changes. And this is again that moment, you are the energy you bring to your posting. So show up with that energy, what you want to bring to everybody. And it's amazing what's reciprocated.
And think how you want them to feel.
Yeah.
This is another thing that I think a lot of people are just like asking these things randomly and not thinking about who do they want to be watching this video and how do they want them to be responding. For me, when I'm asking these things, I want people to see that video and feel the same way I do when I see those videos, which is like, oh, this is awesome. I really want to help this person. Like, what can I do? Like, oh, that's cool. I will share this. I will like tag someone. Oh, that sounds just like me. I really like these things. I'm going to go check that out. Like, that's the reaction I want because that's how I feel when I see those videos.
Yes.
And think about that as you're recording. Like, are you going to elicit that response with the way that you're filming that video? Because if you're not, then you need to rethink how you can record things in a way that feels more like real and honest,
Yeah, definitely. Good one. Good advice. That's a good
The
one.
authentic ask. Give it a go. Let us know how it goes. And I would love to hear about it. And yeah, it's okay to ask people for things. You don't always have to just be providing fun content for them. It's okay to ask them to do things for you.
Yeah, speaking of asking people to do things for us, I feel like we need to ask our audience a
Segue.
question. Yeah, I think Ellie, I have a favor. Yeah, no, I think we need to ask. We've talked about this and we didn't do it earlier, but we need to ask a question of our audience because you guys, we want to ask you things and have you come back and chat with us about it because that's why we're here.
Dialogue on YouTube and other places.
Yeah, because it's like that's why we're here is to chat about this. What's a good question to leave with today? Maybe if you were going to ask a question, what would it be? Or
have you tried it and how did it go?
Yeah, because we would love to know for a bazillion different reasons for our own knowledge, but also just to see how you guys are asking questions out there and where you've seen success or where you feel like maybe you're struggling with it because somebody else might have a point of view that we're able to give you a different perspective and help you with that authentic ask.
Yeah, I would love to know like the inner thoughts around this because I know a lot of people have a lot of hangups around asking for help. And And, you know, there's a lot of feelings of like unworthiness, or that they can't do that, and that it's like
Failure.
needy, or all of these things. And I would love to know some people's pain points with that as well. So
Ditto.
yeah.
Ditto. So definitely leave us your comments, and wherever you are hearing this or watching this. If you're hearing this on podcast, fantastic. YouTube comment section.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
that
wait.
was our ask of you.
Yeah.
And like, subscribe, leave a review, and
Totally.
we appreciate you.
Scene.